It's December 2025, and there's 1 month left before everyone starts fresh with their New Year's resolution. And if you've been honest with yourself, you probably thought this was going to be your year. The year you finally got in shape, dropped that weight, showed up with energy and presence. But here you are, the same reflection in the mirror, same excuses, same frustration. And the worst part, you know you're capable of more. So here's what most professionals do not realize. January the 1st is too late. By the time everyone else is starting, you'll already be weeks behind. But the men who actually transform, they don't wait for permission from the calendar. They use December whilst everyone else is coasting. Now, I'm not telling you to sacrifice Christmas dinners and time with your loved ones, but you can still do this as long as you build the habits and implement the systems that will help you move closer towards your dream physique in a sustainable way. After coaching over 100 executives through complete body transformations, I've identified 3 things that separate the men who've actually changed their lives from the men who just make resolutions. Just like Chris, who works in the finance industry and has 2 kids and a wife and still managed to lose 20 pounds in 90 days. And Raj, who works in the city, has lost 10 pounds in just 40 days. And Pascal, who works 16-hour days, lost 70 pounds in 150 days of being part of the team. And in this video, I'm going to break down the accountability system that guarantees results, the performance protocol that fits your actual schedule, and the identity shift that make fitness automatic instead of forced. So if you're ready to walk into 2026 a different man, leaner, stronger, more energized, not just making another promise that you won't keep, then this video is for you. So let's dive into it. So I'm basically just going to talk to you raw talk. I've got everything down here that I've noticed and written down in detail, and I'm going to walk through with every single one of you on how to fix it. And if you are struggling with these things mentally, physically, then you guys, this is a video for you. So write down, we're in chapter 1. Chapter 1 is systems and accountability, right? A lot of people go into 2025, they set their New Year's resolution, January goals, and they never do it. They never ever stick to it. And that's purely down to that lack of accountability, right? They say to themselves, they're going to do it. They're going to do this, they're going to do that, but they never do, right? In TTT Fitness, that's something that we take probably a priority with everything we do, right? When it comes to health, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to checking in on you daily, we do that, right? Because we know, and I know how important it is to have people around you, right? I've built a good community, and now I know that every single one of them are going to push each other because they don't want to turn up to a group call and not have hit those goals for that week, right? So by doing those things, you're not just pushing yourself, but you're also helping the people around you, right? So having that accountability is so, so important, right? And I mean, most New Year's resolutions fail after 3 weeks. That's something I've noticed. And that's purely down to the systems they can't sustain, right? People can't sustain those first 3 weeks because they aim too high, right? They set these huge goals, and we're going to jump into that a little bit more detail later, but they set these big goals and it's just not realistic, right? When it's realistic, when you are able to push forward and do what needs to be done, you will get to where you want to get to, right? And also I've written down here as well, the difference between motivation and accountability, right? A lot of people think that motivation is there consistently, right? They need motivation in order to get down to the gym, but no, motivation comes after the gym. Motivation comes after you've gone multiple times, right? Because you get a buzz off it. That buzz after a gym session where you feel good, that's where the motivation is. It's not before, it's after. And that's where the domino effects happens, right? You feel good, you go again. Then you go again. Then you go again. Then it starts turning into a discipline, because on the days you don't want to go, you still go, because you know after those sessions, you're going to feel absolutely amazing. That's another thing there. And also another thing as well I've noticed is a lot of people that I've worked with, especially professionals, have external pressures, right? External pressures like family, friends, kids, right? And I mean, I've worked with quite a few people. As I mentioned Chris earlier in the intro, he has 2 kids, right? He has a wife. He works a lot, right? So him, priority, losing that weight, it's going to help him feel good. It's going to be a good role model for his kids, for the people around him, right? And he's also going to look better, feel better, and probably get more respect when he's at work, running his businesses, etc., right? So those are huge things, right? And obviously public commitments as well, right? These are a few things you guys can use in order to make sure you are moving that one step forward every single day, right? Is talking about it. Tell someone your goal, right? And what that does, that adds and applies a little bit more pressure on top of your back in order to make sure you go and do it, right? Because you want that pressure. I know people say, I don't want any more pressure, blah, blah, blah. But if you guys want to reach the physique you want, you need someone on your back. You need to spend that money. You need to take that risk. You need to tell someone, because next time you're going to speak to them in a year from now and you look the same, they're going to look at you in a very, very different way, because they know that you can't stick to something for more than 3 weeks, right? And no one wants that, realistically. No one wants that, especially myself, right? There's 3 non-negotiable systems that everyone needs, right? And I live off non-negotiables. Every single one of you need non-negotiables, right? If that's 10K steps a day, if that's following a diet plan, if that's making sure you check in and checking your workouts every single day, track down your sheet, right? All these things, right? So number 1 here is training systems like planned workouts, and it just helps with reducing decision making, right? Because after a long day of work, you're very busy. You've probably running your businesses, looking after employees, or if you're a manager, then you're looking after other people, right? Absolutely nightmare, right? Or you're trying to get this email out here and there. And it's so important that you have a training plan so that as soon as you are done work, right, you know exactly what you need to do. And that right there will help reduce the friction, right, between going from work and then thinking about what you're going to do at the gym. And that goes down to also planning ahead, right? Pack your bags, bring your bags, pack your clothes and bring them to work, right? So by the time you've gone from work, you go straight to the gym. There's no going home and then going to the gym, right? So important you get into the habit of doing that, right? And then nutrition systems, right? Everyone needs a nutrition system to start, right? Meal templates. You need a meal prep. You need to meal prep. It's so important, especially in the beginning phase. I preach every single one of you to track your calories when it comes to the start of a journey. I don't track my calories anymore because I know what I'm eating. And I don't say do it for the rest of your life, because if you're busy, you don't want to be tracking every gram of rice that you're eating, no, right? So important you just start understanding, right? And then recovery as well, right? You need a sleep schedule. You need stress management. You need actual rest days as well. A lot of you guys, I know it's busy, right? You've got kids, you've got family, but having a rest day where you mentally and physically just reset, no phones, maybe go spend time with your family, no work, is going to be the best thing for you, right? The best thing for you. And all of these little things are going to help you move forward into 2026, becoming the person you want to be. And then chapter 2, the 1% daily system, right? And I preach with every single person who joins TTT, or in general, if you're watching this video right now, you need to make sure you're doing something every single day that's going to get you that 1 step closer, right? 1% every single day. And maybe you go 2, but I just want every single one to focus on just getting 1% better. Even if you're a businessman, right? If that's just making sure you get 10 emails or 10 cold calls a day or something like that, or you, I don't know, pack your bags every single day, or I don't know, right? Do your to-do lists, right? These things just help you get that 1% better, right? And once you start doing that and building up that momentum, that's where you become different, right? December isn't going to be a time where you slack off and just get ready for 2026 and start in January. No, it's a time where you're building that momentum. So by the time you do hit January the 1st, you're going to be a different person already, right? You're going to go into January top speed already, 100 miles per hour down the M way, right? Instead of just getting started. So it's like these small things are going to help you just speed up the process, right? So starting now is better than starting in January. That's what I want to say to you guys. And look, you don't need perfection as well. I see this with every single person who works. All you need to do is get 1% better, right? Spend 30 days, right? These next 30 days leading up to the new year is going to be the most crucial 30 days of your life, right? You said to yourself last year, the year before that you're going to do it. You never did, right? So spend these next 30 days locking in to-do lists every day. Get what needs to be done every day. Drink water every day, right? Avoid alcohol. And by the time you get to January the 1st, your life's already going to be changed, right? Because as I said, and I love this quote, is one hour can change a day. One good hour can change a day. One day can change a week, and 1 week can change a month, and 1 good month can literally change a year, right? And once you've kept up those habits for a year, then you're going to have years and years and years of success, right? So it's these small things you do right now that are going to add up over time. So that's why I preach, especially in this chapter, 1% every single day, right? So be specific as well, right? When you guys are setting these goals for yourself, you need to be specific, like 1% if that comes down to nutrition, right? 1%, maybe you get, instead of 10,000 steps a day, you do 11,000 steps a day, right? These small things are just going to help you move in the right direction. And then obviously recovery, right? 30 minutes earlier for bedtime, right? You get an extra 30 minutes in bed. You do yoga, your yin yoga, which is absolutely amazing. I get every single one of my clients to do that, right? It's yin yoga before bed or in the morning. If you want to do your mobility in the morning to get you up and going, but before bed, it will just make you sleep like a baby. Absolutely amazing, right? So make sure recovery is on the priority list, right? And small wins do build momentum, right? And I do say this a lot. So if you guys are setting big goals, you need to make sure you're breaking them down, right? Break down those big goals into smaller goals. And what that will do is, as you start making those wins and you win the morning, you wake up early, right? Then you drink water, that's another win, right? If you set these small wins for the day, that builds momentum, that builds consistency. And once you've built that discipline, then everything else starts clicking, right? Things start falling into place. You start losing that weight, you start building muscle. And then from there, life just gets a whole lot better. And going into 2026, you're gonna have top speed. That momentum is gonna be unreal, to a point where you look amazing already, right? You're losing that weight, right? And in 30 days, a lot can change if you guys just lock in, right? And I'm just going to use me as an example as well, because I'm a 6-figure business owner, right? I run my businesses, I've got podcasts, I've got my fitness coaching business, which is what I'm helping you guys out with right now, right? If you guys are interested, I've put a link in the description. Just fill out a form there, we'll reach out to you, my team will. But I'm running a business, right? So busy, so busy. I'm helping hundreds of people a day, right? And I'm trying to become a professional footballer. Obviously, if you guys look back here, I was at Crystal Palace for a decade, literally a decade. I was at Tottenham, was at Newcastle, and look, I'm still trying to make it. So my life is just as hectic as yours. And look, I know things can get in the way, kids, family, bills, right? But if you guys just focus on, like, even if it's 20 minutes a day, right? Getting that 1% better every single day with your fitness is not just going to change your life. The people around you are also going to notice it and pick up on that, right? And it might inspire them, which is always probably the most amazing feeling I've ever had from my fitness, is me getting fit and inspiring the younger generation or the people around me, right? Which is what I absolutely love, and it's why I do what I do today, guys. And it's honestly the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. I've honestly ever done, right? And professionals who try to do everything, right, versus the ones who master one thing at a time always win, right? By focusing on loads and loads of things, you're not going to be able to get as far as you would want, right? But when you nail down and funnel your focus onto, let's say, just getting fit and burning fat, you will burn fat and get fit, right? By doing that, or by trying to work on this and work on that and then do this, it's like running a business, right? If you're trying to run 5 different businesses at the same time, it's just not going to work, right? But focus on one, build that one up to the max, and you will see results. It's so important that you focus on, maybe if it's 1 or 2, right? And I mean, I do say this a lot, and I mean, I spoke to someone the other day, because look, I love learning. I absolutely love learning. I'm still learning. I've been in the fitness industry for over a decade now, and I'm still learning to this day, right? And one guy who told me, this is more businessy, so if you guys are into business or run a business, then this more relates to you. But someone said to me, and I wrote it down here, and if you could give 50% of your business away, so it's automated and everything's done for you, would you do it? Right? I mean, I said yes, because that right there would give you more time to focus on other things. And it's the same with fitness, right? When it comes to fitness, if you just focus on, let's say, building muscle, and you get, like, it's not huge, but you build good muscle, then now you've built that up. It's so much easier once you're there to maintain it. So much easier. So that's why, look, if you're going to focus on something like fat loss, right, make sure you're still going to the gym, you're still building muscle, because it will help speed up your metabolism and then burn that fat. But just purely focus on one thing at a time. Start off by focusing on, if that's fat loss, focus on fat loss only. And then from there, things will start falling into place. They will follow, right? Business growth is incremental. Body transformation is 2, right? So on. So pick one habit, and I just written this down, guys. So pick one habit to improve 1% daily for the next 30 days and master it. I want every single one of you to do that, right? At the end of this video, I want you writing notes down as I speak, like going through everything right now and master it for the next 30 days. And trust me, everything else will follow. And then chapter 3, the 2026 vision, right? The final month of 2025 determines your entire 2026, right? If you win December, then you will dominate the next year. No doubt about it. I can assure you, if you can build good habits in these next 30 days, you will absolutely smash December. So obviously, how you finish 2025 predicts how you start 2026, obviously, right? Because you will have that momentum, as I mentioned earlier. And I've written it down in brackets here because momentum is so important. Once you build momentum, things start falling into place, right? Your habits improve, right? Your discipline gets better from there. And you start doing things that you wouldn't normally do, right? Like waking up at 6 a.m. or going for a run during winter. Right now, people say, oh, it's winter rock and it's cold outside. And it probably is. If you're from the UK or from a country where it's the time of the year where it's freezing, then you don't want to go outside at 8 p.m. when you get back from a long day of work. But there will be a switch in your brain. Well, one day you will start doing that, trust me. Or you'll find ways around it, like treadmill and inside, right? Doing the bike inside, right? These small things are going to help you move in the right direction, right? And professionals who enter January with momentum versus the ones who play catch up, right? Like for example, and I use this for myself because I'm a footballer, right? I used to be pro. So one of these things is professional footballers or yourself, right? Or a very successful businessman would never ever wait till January the 1st. Like right now, let's say you've got 30 days until January the 1st, right? I can assure you, or if you're watching this right now, you wouldn't be waiting till the 1st of January to start that new business. You would get it done now, or a new project. You would start now because you know how important it is to start. So why do that with your fitness? It doesn't make sense because your fitness is just as important as your health. And one thing I do say, and you've probably heard it a lot, it's so cliche, is health is wealth, right? So once you start implementing those things with your health into your life, you will see results, right? You will see results. And I want every single one of you to start doing this as well, is start visualizing what you want Q1 of 2026 to look like, right? Start visualizing you waking up, getting the gym in. On those days you don't feel like waking up and getting out your warm, cozy bed, you still get up and get out your warm, cozy bed, right? So those small things I want you to visualize, right? You burning 10 kg of fat, right? You lifting those heavy weights that people will be honestly like, oh my gosh, like you've changed. Damn, Chris, you've changed. Or like, since the last time I saw you, like, wow, you know what I mean? So start visualizing these things, visualize moments, right? Visualize the game. And obviously, I love visualization. You see everyone do it. Ronaldo does it. Everyone does it. Businessmen, manifest it, right? These things do work. And then once you start taking action as well, it will fall into place. And you've obviously just got to trust the timing. And then confidence that comes from showing up when others quit, right? Focusing on that 1%, getting better 1% every single day. And I write it down here is, and something I love to do is working out on like a Friday night or Saturday night, right? Because what that does, and it feels good as well, because it's not busy on a Friday or Saturday night because people are going out or they're staying indoors from a long week or they've just been out the night before, right? So these small things are going to separate you from the rest of the bunch, right? And the more you do that, then it gets to a point where maybe you can start enjoying your Friday or Saturday evenings, but making sure you are staying on track the whole time, right? You have to stay on track and you will feel 10 times better for it as well. And how 30 days of action creates identity that shifts last all year, right? 30 days can literally recreate your identity. Once you recreate your identity, things get so much better from there, right? One good hour, and I said this earlier, one good hour can change a day, etc. Right? So I'm not gonna repeat myself there, but a client who uses December, right? So anyone who's watching this, if you're already part of TCT Fitness or you're looking to start your fitness journey, right? If you use this next December as a time to walk into 2026 as a better person, then you will be miles and miles ahead. This next 30 days can change your life, right? Can change the whole of 2026. And once you start to realize that, that's when your mind switches. So, right, every single one of you start doing that and you plan your business year in advance. So why leave your health to chance? Now, I wrote this down in bold here because if you run a business or if you work a job, you plan everything in advance. You plan your calendar. So why not do that for your health? Because the end of the day, health is wealth. And look, another thing as well, I want every single one of you to start writing down your 2026 vision for health and performance, right? Make December the bridge to get there, right? And I write it down here as well because this is what I did at the start, right? I didn't talk about it too much. I used to write everything down. I actually brought out some of my cards that I used to use years and years ago to basically journal, right? Journaling is probably one of the most amazing things that I did for probably the first 2 to 3 years of my journey, professional footballer, fitness, and just life in general, right? Journaling is so powerful and it's underestimated. So look, do that for your fitness, your health every single day, and you will get to where you want to get to. So if you've gotten this far into the video, it means you're serious about stepping into 2026 as a completely different version of yourself. And you definitely relate to things we talked through today, right? We spoke about the 3 steps you need to lock in now with only 1 month left before 2026 hits, the steps that will give you momentum instead of waiting for motivation, right? We talked about why this final stretch of the year matters more than people think, and why taking action before the new year is what separates people who change their life from the ones who repeat another year of frustration, right? So just to summarize, the shifts you're looking for doesn't require a new year, new me miracle. It requires applying these 3 steps consistently so you walk into January already moving, already aligned, already in motion, right? When you understand that momentum is built before the clock resets, life-changing progress becomes predictable instead of hopeful. Now, this isn't magic. It requires attention and consistency over the next few weeks, but compared to waiting for January the 1st and starting from 0 again, this actually sticks. And I've seen it with countless people I've coached. Once they stopped waiting for the perfect moment and started applying the system early, everything honestly changed for them, like overnight. So if you want to enter 2026 with clarity, structure, and a plan that actually works without burning out, without guessing, and without trying to wing it like the previous years, I've helped hundreds of busy professionals and high performers build real momentum and get real results, right? All the time, right? So if you want direct help to make sure you start 2026 in the right way, book a strategy call with me and my team, right? And I'll speak to you directly, and also my team will speak to you directly down. So right now, right, where you want to be, just to figure out what your goals are, just so we can help build you a personalized roadmap so you can execute with or without us. If that sounds like something you're ready for, then just drop me a DM on Instagram, or just click the link in the bio where you can fill out an application and we'll reach out to you personally. So have a good one.